Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Here we are, Wednesday, next level training. Can you guys see me okay? Because I don't have my halo light on. Okay. So, we do this training every Wednesday. It's called Next Level Training. And, my training, I'd like to recognize as well, we've got some great leaders here with us, J. Michael Smith, Dr. Ojina in Kenya. Maybe we could have Jacinta joining us today. I just want to say that these next level trainings, for me, it's an opportunity to converse with you about this business, about the potential of this business. And the topics of conversation range from anything from how to present the business to how we get paid, to using social media, using your e-commerce website, your My4Life, using the applications, all kinds of topics we cover, and we record these. And so today and this whole week, actually, I have been talking a lot about overcoming objections. There's something called resistance, and that exists in life. In anything you do, there is resistance. If you want to be a Kenyan long distance marathon runner, you think you're not going to have resistance? Of course you are. I mean, your bones are going to hurt. Your muscles are going to ache. You're probably going to end up having bloody feet at some point in time. There's physical pain. Dr. Ojina, am I correct in what I'm saying? Absolutely. There's resistance in anything that we choose to do. If it's music and you want to play an instrument, and let's say it's a trumpet, your lips are going to hurt. All right. You're going to fumble around. If it's a guitar, your fingers are going to hurt. So no matter what it is you do, there is resistance. And so when I talk to people, I try to come from a position of just being logical. I don't like to just make things up and oversell and underdeliver. I don't believe in that, because anytime you do that, if you oversell something, people run into disappointments, and it's like, well, you said this, Dave, but this is what happened. And so I'm a realist, and I think that by me being a realist, it's helped me in my business, because I know what my expectations are, and they're realistic. It's taken me a while to build a network. 2 million plus people now have joined my network in 24 years. It wasn't that way in the beginning. It was 1 to 1 to 1. And pretty soon that turned into 4 and turned into 10 and then 20 and 100 and so on. There's a process. And during that process, I've met a lot of resistance as well. Now, you can call it resistance. You can call it opposition, objections, excuses. And so the call I had this morning, my first call in the morning, a little over an hour ago, was with a lady that she just signed up. Olga Lucia is her name. She's from Colombia. She's here in the United States, just came here, never lived in the US. She basically had to get out from where she was in Colombia. Went through a business failure, financial crisis. She's my age, and she's starting life all over again from the bottom, getting up at 4 a.m, taking a bus, trying to make some money, at a job just so she can pay rent, have a roof over her head. And now she wants to build this business. And I was talking to her today about being realistic. Let's be realistic about this, okay? You're trying to make money, by surviving. You got to pay rent. So you're looking for a little job. Great. Continue to do that. For life, we're going to do on the side, part-time, to make some extra money for you and build your network. It's going to take some time. She started last month. She started talking to people, inviting people, and she's already run into resistance. She said, Dave, I talk to everyone, and everyone's always at first excited. They always want to know what it is. But then when it comes time to get them to come to a Zoom meeting, they don't come. And I said, okay, let's do this. You need to get your sponsor with you on some of these calls, all right? Because we don't want to tell people everything right from the beginning, all right? I'm saying, if you're brand new in this business, you're brand new, just starting, I've been doing this for 24 years. If you're brand new in the business, your goal is to get them to the table to where they can see the people, see the team, get a really good professional, educated presentation. Now, if you feel you're capable of doing that right now, go for it. I mean, there's people out there that know how to present from day one. There's people that have been in networking before. They've been in business before. They've presented before. They've got great social skills, communication skills, leadership skills that join the business. And they start out right away just running, you know. Anderson, my guy in Brazil, is one of those people. He's a business person. He saw the potential of this kind of business model, networking, and he just went in and he created his own PowerPoint in Portuguese and just jumped right on in and started doing it. But for most of us, we need to have a third party, another testimony, another person validating why we're doing this as a business. Okay. So in so doing that, inviting people, talking to people, we always run into resistance, objections. We're going to run through some of these today. I've run into them as well. I've probably run into more than any of you. Now, for me, I'll say this to start out. I think what goes through my head is not always what comes out of my mouth. Okay. I try to filter my words the best I can. I look at it like an art. All right. Sometimes even like a game, meaning that when I meet somebody and talk to them, it's like, okay, here we go. This is my craft. I'm going to meet this person, and I'm talking cold. I mean, I meet people at the beach. I meet people. Here's one for you. Got my hair cut 2 days ago. Okay. I'm sitting, what a great place to talk to somebody. I'm sitting in the barber seat and the guy cutting my hair, we start talking. And I don't know exactly how the conversation ended up. Somehow, some way, it always ends up with health and wellness, business, you know, and I tell him about For Life, about what I do. We talked while he's cutting my hair and he was asking me a lot of questions. Okay. So that's my craft. That's the skill I've developed, which is fun. I enjoy talking to people about it. Resistance to me is a challenge. I like challenges. I don't mind a challenge. I honestly feel the bigger the challenge, the greater the challenge, the greater the growth, the more you're going to learn. Okay. So I've come across all kinds of resistance and excuses or objections. Now, if any of you have any you want to talk about today, all right. If there are any that you want to talk about, put them in the chat. Let me open up my chat. J. Michael, maybe you can help me if you're looking at the chat. If you happen to see something that I don't see, just jump in and say, hey, Dave, so, you know, Mercy has a question or whatever. So objections. One of the ones that I get a lot is, I don't have any money. Okay. When someone says, I don't have any money, my brain, remember, I think one thing and say something else. My brain thinks, and you're going to live your entire life that way. You're going to go through life never having money. Look at how old you are right now. This person's probably maybe in their 40s or 50s. You're going to live that. So my brain thinks that way. All right. But I don't say that. That's offensive. What I do is I say, look, if I showed you, or if me and some other people showed you a way you could make some extra money, and you can do it on your own schedule, your own time. You can even do a lot of it from your own house. All right. And it's simple. It's not difficult. Would you at least be willing to listen? It could change your life. What do you think? And I love that question, by the way. What do you think? Because that's a question. They got to come back. I mean, what are they going to say? No, I'm not interested in making any extra money. No, I'm not interested in owning my own life. I'm not interested in any type of financial freedom. I'm not interested in working my own schedule. I'm not interested in having a business from home. Okay, if that's really the case, next, I move on. But most people, they are interested. They just don't yet understand, you see? So I look at my job as being someone who has to explain clearly what this is. Okay, so I don't have any money. To me, that's a simple one. You don't have any money, let me show you how you can make some money. How about that? Okay. If you give me 30 minutes, you're not going to lose any money. I'm not asking for your money. I'm asking you to take a look at something that has the potential of changing your financial, your economic position in life. If you're just willing to take a look at it, what do you think? And then listen, let them tell you what they think. Okay. So that's how I approach the I don't have any money one. Now let's talk about I don't have any time. Again, when I get I don't have any time, I think, in my brain, how sad is that? You don't have any time. That means you don't get to enjoy anything. I mean, to enjoy life, you need to have some time. If you want to travel, if you want to, I love going to the beach with my dog. It's one of the things I've been doing a lot lately. He's taking my baby boy Odin to the beach. All right. It's wonderful to have time to live life the way you want to live it and to do things. It's freedom, you see? So, excuse me. Again, if someone doesn't have any time, I tell them this. Okay, you don't have any time. How about if I showed you something that would allow you to buy your time back, to eventually start having more time to enjoy life? And this is done through the process of duplication. What if you could duplicate yourself, all right? Duplicate your efforts, your energy, and your time. You have more time. If I were to show you something like that, would you be interested? What do you think? Give me 30 minutes, all right? Maybe an hour. If after 30 minutes, you're like, I'm out of here, I don't want to know anymore, fine. But at least allow me that time to show you, just so you can make an educated decision about whether you want to know more or not. So when I talk to people, I come from a position of just being logical, sensical, and I want them to really understand what this is all about. Okay. So the whole I don't have time thing, again, these are mere excuses, by the way. You can call them objections, resistance, whatever, but they're excuses. All right. And think about this. What if you right now were a gold international diamond in for life? You're a gold. Your earnings now on a monthly basis are running about 40,000 US dollars a month. And I've got plenty of those in my business to earn that kind of money. All right. If that was you right now and you were talking to someone, I bet you that if you told them that, they would listen to you. Okay. The reason most people don't listen is because they don't look at us as someone of success. Now, Dr. Ojina, he comes from a different position because, in fact, he mentioned this on the call on Monday, being a medical doctor, being successful, I mean, just he exudes that even in his dress, his persona, the way he is. People look at that. Success breeds success. So when someone sees a successful person, yeah, they're coming from a position of strength. But understand something. That's all mindset. That's all attitude. So really, these things I'm saying, 99% attitude, because when I talk to someone that I meet, like the guy that was cutting my hair the other day, he doesn't know if I'm a multimillionaire or if I'm broke. I just sat in his chair. He doesn't know the difference. But what he's going to know is what comes out of my mouth and the way it comes out. So it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. So when I approach people, whether it's someone that knows me or someone I just meet in my networking efforts, I'm always conscious of how I say something. Okay. I know I make mistakes. I say wrong things all the time. All right. But how I talk to people, how I approach people from a position of a positive mindset, a positive attitude. I even laugh, I even, chuckle with them, when I'm talking. So back to these objections. I don't have any time. I don't have any money. To me, those are easy ones to overcome because you simply say, well, if I show you something, would you be willing to take a look at it? Why not? You just said you didn't have any of it, and I'm willing to show you something that will give it to you. Why not? Okay. Another one, I don't know anybody. That one cracks me up a lot. My brain, I think, how sad of a life to be living and not know anybody. If you want to know what it's like to not have anybody around, watch that movie, I Am Legend with Will Smith. All right. And look at what happens to you if you're the only one on the planet and there's nobody else around you. Okay. People need people to survive. Everybody knows someone. And if we go back through our lives and just kind of run the film of life and start thinking about all the people that you've met throughout your lifetime, from being a child to growing up and going to school and maybe into college, or your work, people you met at parties, at the beach, wherever. We meet people every single day. Now, some people, they develop more relationships than others. There are people that are very extroverted. They just love meeting new people. There are people out there that know a lot of people that they've met in their lifetime. All right. And there are others that are a bit more reclusive. They're more introverted and they don't have as many people they associate with, but everybody knows somebody. So when someone says they don't know anybody, the first thing I think of, do you have a cell phone? And I even ask people that sometimes. I'll say, do you have a cell phone? And they say, of course, yeah. I mean, 99.99% of the people out there now have a cell phone. Do you have any contacts in that phone? Any names, numbers? Of course you do. Do you have a Facebook page, an Instagram page? I bet you've got friends on there. Okay. Everybody knows someone. So again, that's just simply an excuse. I don't know anybody. All right. Now, another way to approach that one is like this. Oh, I bet you do know people. If you really think about it, you know people. You have family and friends and people you work around. There's people that on a daily basis, I bet you say hello to, all right, that you greet. Everyone knows someone, okay? So again, just allow me 30 minutes to show you something. If at the end of the 30 minutes you're uninterested, fine. Hopefully you'll be, and you'll want to go a little bit more, and we'll talk for an hour maybe. This happened to me at the beach, by the way, last week. I met a guy named Richard Stryker. He worked on Wall Street in stock securities. And we started talking, and I thought we'd talk for 15, 20 minutes. He kept me there for an hour and a half till it was dark. I had to call my wife, Gabby, and tell her, hey, I'm alive. I'm at the beach still. I just finished talking to a gentleman about For Life, and I'm heading home. So again, I look at it's my business. It's what I do. And I enjoy doing it. I find it fun talking to people. I don't make a big deal out of it. Okay. Other objections that anybody here write any objections yet that you might run into? Come on, you guys. You're going to tell me none of you have any objections? We got 30 of you here with us this morning listening, and surely some of you have to have run into objections, unless you're not talking to anybody. If you're not talking to anybody, then you probably won't. But surely you are. Okay. Here's another objection you might run into. They never work. Those pyramid things never work. Now, again, in my mind, I'm thinking this. How would you know? How would you really know? Have you really got in and learned and tried it? Okay. So, okay, Sharon, what we're talking about today is overcoming objections. So if you run into any objections out there, resistance, excuses, put them in the chat, and we're discussing those today on today's call. Right. But I've run into this one before. Those things never work. And I always reflect back, and J. Michael knows this guy, Paul Orberson. Paul Orberson has a cassette tape called A Different Way of Thinking. He was a high school coach. He was a teacher in high school, but he's also a football coach. He quit his job to do network marketing full time. And he happened to be talking to one of his fellow teachers at school after he quit. And she looked at him like, you're a fool. You gave up a teaching job at school to go and do this stupid thing you call network marketing. They never work. And Paul Orberson looked at her and said, how would you know? How would you know? So Paul's attitude was, listen to who's telling you that. What do they know? They don't know anything. So why are you going to listen to them? By the way, Paul Orberson earned $1 million in 1 month. $1 million in 1 month he earned in this industry. He's passed away. He passed away from cancer a few years back. But J. Michael Smith actually met Paul and knows Paul. So the point is this. That's another objection or excuse you run into. They never work. And in my brain, I think, how would you really know they never work? Okay. You say they don't work, yet I look at people that I know personally that are multimillionaires. I also know that this industry of network marketing, this business model, this is a fact. It's made more independent, self-made millionaires than any other business model in the world. And here's why. Because this business model, you choose. It's your choice how big you want to grow it, what level you want to take it, how much you want to develop yourself. You see, it's your choice. Nobody can tell you, well, this position up here as manager, you're not ready for it. How do you know? Yeah, I'm ready for it. So you decide if you want to be a diamond, if you want to be a presidential diamond, if you want to be a bronze, a gold, or a platinum. It's your choice. You see, it's through your own efforts. All right. Your own tenacity and patience and your willing and desire to wanting to build something. Okay. So again, if someone says it doesn't work, they just don't know. And I always go back to the same thing. How about giving me 30 minutes, an hour at the most of time to show you why this will work? All right. Let me bring on someone that I know is successful, or come to a Zoom and listen to what's going on here, because people are making money. And if you don't, your mind is like a parachute. If you don't open it, it's never going to work. So just come and listen. At least then you can make, here's what it's all about, you guys. For me, it's about this: an educated decision. Don't make an uneducated decision. Make an educated one. Take the time to listen and learn. Think about this. We're in an industry that's $4.2 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion. Health and wellness is now a $4.2 trillion industry. From anti-aging skincare, we've got it. Health and wellness, general wellness, we've got it. Immune system products, we've got them. Transform products. You want to transform your body, put on lean muscle, lose weight, we've got it. We've got all these innovative, cutting edge products that have an impact on people's lives in a $4.2 trillion industry. So the business is there. All right. So to say it doesn't work is like saying there's no business. Not true. How is it then that I have 2 million people that have joined my organization in the last 24 years? They're not all active, I understand that, but they joined. You've joined, I joined. So people just like you and me are out there. There's plenty of them. We just need to find them. Okay. So let's go back here. Sharon. Okay, great. We got some going here now. Wonderful. Too expensive. Okay. Let's talk about expensive. Now, I understand that there are classes in life. There is a class of people that as soon as you tell them what 100 life points is, they might pass out, because to them, you might as well say it's $100 million. Okay. But here's how I look at things. If I pulled up in your front yard, if I pulled up in front of your house or wherever you live with a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and that Mercedes-Benz cost, let's just say $60,000, $60,000. Okay. And I said you could have that Mercedes-Benz for $500, brand new. Would you find the $500? Dr. Ogina, would you find the $500 for that Mercedes-Benz? Go ahead and unmute yourself there, Doc. If you can find the unmute button there.
Repeat the question so they can hear again.
Okay. So I said, if I pulled up in front of any of your homes, where you live, wherever you live, in Kenya or South Africa, wherever it is, and I pulled up in a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and let's say that Mercedes-Benz cost me $50,000. Okay. And I said, you can have this. It's yours. Here's the title. You get it for $500. Would you go find $500 to get that car brand new?
I think, yeah, because Mercedes-Benz,
$500 for a $50,000 car?
$50,000 car, you'll find the 500.
Of course, you got it. All of you
You'll
would
do anything out of your way.
Of course. So, Dr. Ogina,
Get the money.
have you've easily earned more than $50,000 in for life, easily. So my point is this: you've got to understand value, you guys. You have to share value. If someone says it's too expensive, what's the value? What value, rather than thinking about the cup being half empty, let's look at it as half full. All right. To me, it's more than half full. But the point is, what's the value of your health? What's the value of this business? What's the whole package you're getting here? Okay. Now, I always approach the business because I just believe that people want to make some extra money. Now, if I'm talking to someone who already has a career, they're already a lawyer, an accountant, a doctor, a dentist, an engineer, they've got a career and they're making money. Yeah, they got money. They can buy the product. No problem. I understand they've got the career. They're not going to drop their career to do For Life. All right, not yet. Now, maybe they will. I know a lot of people that had their professional careers and they gave that up to do this business because they saw the potential. They wanted the freedom. They wanted to build something that had residual so that when the day came that they decided to rest, they still made a lot of money. All right. They wanted to compress their time from a lifetime down into maybe 10 years or so of work by duplicating themselves. Okay. Now they got more done in those 10 years than they could do by themselves in a lifetime by working with a team of people. Okay. So I have a lot of professional people that gave up their career to do this. All right. But let's talk about the people that don't, they say they don't have money. That means they don't have really, they're not doing anything in a career making money. Well, if it's too expensive, then let's talk about making money, because there's plenty of people out there that will buy the product. There's plenty. If you're dealing just only with a class of people that just can't find the money and they can't get the money, again, to me, a lot of this is mindset, attitude. Yeah, you're going to run into that because that's the level that you're working at, you see. And and don't get me wrong, all right, but it is a fact of life that different countries, all right, have different economic situations. But understand this, we're a global business. You can live in Kenya and okay, maybe you're getting resistance in Kenya with the I don't have money thing a lot, but people know people all over the world. Outside of Kenya, in South Africa, in the United States, in Europe, in London, or wherever, okay? Reach out to them. Zoom has no boundaries. WhatsApp has no boundaries. Your cell phone has no boundaries, okay? So again, to me, a lot of this is just mindset, but it is true that, and I know, because when I started For Life, I was living in a ghetto. I honestly was living in a ghetto. My neighbors were arrested for selling cocaine. The people right in the door next door to me had their door kicked in and they were arrested for selling cocaine. My door got tagged by gang members the second night I was living there. They had to put a metal door on my door so that they couldn't kick the door in. So I know what it's like, to not have money and live in an unfortunate situation. But I moved up the classes as quickly as I could. How did I do that? By associating myself with that class. You see, if I want to be in that class, then I'll do what I can to associate myself with that class. Why? You are who you associate with. You're a product of your environment. If you associate in an environment of a particular class, trust me, you learn, you grow, you adapt to that class. That's why when you see people, and don't get me wrong, I'm not judging anybody here, but I do identify. I identify people. And if I'm driving down the street and I see a bunch of kids, hanging out in an area that is a lower class area, chances are they'll probably live their life and remain in that class unless they do something to make a change. So the whole thing about being, we're back to money, too expensive, don't have money. Try to get to another class to where all of a sudden people can buy product. They can buy an Energy Go Sticks, or be creative. Open up the box of Energy Go Sticks and sell one sachet and sell another, or sell a Rio Vita sachet. Show people how they can sell sachets and start down there and then move from that class to the next class and the next class and work your way up. That's how the system of life works. It's just life, you see. But I know what it's like. I've been down there starting, down the very, very, very bottom. So anyhow, and I get passionate about that, you guys, because honestly, I feel sometimes that my desire to help people, assist people in becoming successful in this business is stronger than their desire. I want so bad for everybody to get to that diamond, to get to that presidential diamond. Just keep on going, dig deep. You got it within you. You've got everything it takes. You're no different than anybody else out there that has become a gold or platinum. All right. But there's a process. We all have to go through that process to get there. And some get there quicker than others, and it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So that's how I approach the too expensive thing is value, value, value. Share with them the benefits, share with them the value of this. If they see the value, they'll figure out a way, or you'll help them figure out a way where they can start their business, okay? Or they can get the product. Only people at the top succeed in network marketing. Okay, Janet, this is from Janet. Okay. Again, gotta understand my brain. My brain has to laugh because how did they get to the top? They got to the top through effort. They got to, no one is what's the word I'm looking for here? Nobody is nominated, I guess, to be a platinum or a gold or appointed. That's the word. No one is appointed to a position. We're not going to say, well, Dr. Regina, because you're a doctor and you're talented, we're going to appoint you platinum. No, you have to work your way up there. You get up there through your own effort. It goes back again, what I was saying is that it's your choice if you want to get to the top. But Janet, let me take this question seriously here because it is a question. And there's no such thing as a ridiculous question. All right. No such thing. So it says here, only the people at the top succeed in network marketing. Okay. Well, let's take a job, a conventional job. What's the chance of you becoming the CEO of the company you work for? You have a lesser chance of becoming the president of the company that you're employed by than you do becoming a platinum, a lesser chance. So there's only room at the top in a company for one CEO, for one president, for a couple of vice presidents. And that's it. How much room is there for platinums here? I don't know, go look at the 4Life website, count them. What do we got now? I mean, what, 20? I don't know, maybe more. How many golds? 60, 70? How many bronzes? Hundreds? Maybe even 1,000 around the world. The point is that people choose if they want to get to the top. So I look at it like this. You have to take what you might call a pyramid. And by the way, a pyramid is a corporate structure, military, government, they're all pyramids. There's only room at the top for one president of Kenya. All right. You've got the top of the military, which is usually the commander in chief is the president, but it could be the generals, whatever. Okay. But there's room at the top for one or very, very few. In our business, you take that pyramid and turn it upside down. Everyone starts at that little point there at the bottom, but on top, there is room for anyone that wants to get there. Trust me, the day will never come where 100% of the global population will be in 4Life. That will never happen because there's always new babies being born. There's always new people. All right. So we're never going to have 100% of the world in 4Life. There's always a market as long as there's people. It comes down to the ability to influence, to entice, inspire, motivate, persuade people to make a change, to look at this, to look at the value of it and get involved. You see, whether they get involved in a small way or a big way is up to them. All right. But only the people at the top succeed in network marketing. Well, let's talk about success. All right. I mean, Janet, if we were having a conversation, Janet, about this, I would ask you, what is your definition of success? Everyone has a different definition of success. If success is making an extra $500 a month, I know thousands and thousands of people that make that. All right. In my organization since I've started. All right. If success is pure financial freedom, you're right. There's actually less than 1% that make it to the very, 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 very top as a platinum. But you know what? Who am I to decide who that 1% is? It could be Yvonne. It could be Tichi. It could be Viona. It could be Ruth, Mercy, Janet, Sharon, Nellie, J. Michael. I'm not the one that's going to decide who that 1% is. You decide. And so that's what makes this different. But yeah, wouldn't it be wonderful if it was 100%? But is that realistic? Is that realistic to think that 100% of people are going to get to platinum? No. Understand something. It's just this way, and I'm not trying to be philosophical here, but it's just life. In general, If you walk around Nairobi or you walk around Johannesburg and you just walk the streets, just go out anywhere, walk around and look. How many people that you look at in 10 minutes, half an hour of your time looking, how many of those people are financially independent? They don't have to worry about money anymore in life. How many? I'll bet you the answer is going to be probably 0. Okay. So in life in general, less than 1% of people ever achieve financial freedom. So what's going to make this any different? Here's what makes it different. Again, it's your choice. Now think about it. Let's go back to benefits. Let's go back to value. You are who you associate with. And I'm very proud and honored to be associated with all of you. We're all working for the same common goal, success, whatever your definition may be. We're here for the same thing. We're all trying to build successful businesses, our successful network. We're working as a team. You are who you associate with. Stay in that team. Stay within, all right, this bubble or this globe of the For Life family, okay? Because once you're out of it and you're on your own, it's pretty much going to be game over. Back to the same thing in life, where the chances of you ever achieving on your own the level of success that you hope for is very, very, very slim. We all need to be associated with successful people. And that's what motivated me in my 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s as I built my network, my career, being associated with good, positive people that rubbed off on me. Okay. So that's extremely, extremely important to achieve the level of success you so desire. But again, I'm a realist. In the real world out there, how many people ever really achieve financial freedom? Very small amount. Why is that? Well, here's the way I think, okay? The way my brain thinks. If you don't achieve the level of success that you hope for, there's only one of 2 reasons. One of 2. Nobody ever showed you how. They didn't provide a vehicle. They didn't show you a way to do it. We're showing you a way. Not only are we showing you, we're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. We're here, we're doing it, all of us, okay? So you're showing the way. So then there's only one other reason. I call it laziness. You're just not willing to do the necessary things to get there. Now, some of you might think, well, Dave, that's not a nice thing to say. It's the truth. What differentiates any successful person from an unsuccessful person? The successful person is willing to do the necessary things, make the necessary changes, the necessary adaptations. All right. You know, like I've had to get up at 4 a.m. and get on a Zoom call sometimes. Fine, I'll do it. I'm willing to do what's necessary. As long as it's legal, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'll do what needs to be done to achieve the level of success I hope to achieve in For Life, in my business. So again, only 1 or 2 reasons. You know, nobody ever showed you, or you just aren't willing to do the necessary things to make it happen. And only you know that, by the way. We all look in the mirror every day. Men, we shave. We look at ourselves in the mirror. Women, you put your makeup on, look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself every day, am I willing to do today the necessary things to get to where I want to get? And I will be there by tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow. But the point is this: if you do what's necessary to do today, you will arrive at your destination, whether that's tomorrow, next year, in 5 years. It's going to happen. It's inevitable if you just keep on going. Let's go down to the next one. I apologize. Some of these I get long-winded on. I'm not a salesman. We already discussed the price. Again, Sharon, value, value, value. Show them not just the value only in the product, but this whole package of being part of the For Life family, you know, the business side of it as well, what you can develop, you know. And again, let me touch on this real quick on the business side. Where in this world can you start your own business for $200 or less and have access to applications for your phone, website already built for you, e-commerce website, 1,000+ employees around the world at your disposal to help serve you. They'll process payments. They'll send out products. They'll pay commissions. They'll provide all kinds of service to anybody that's in your organization around the world. All right. Where can you have a business like that where you have no overhead expenses, no inventories to take care of, none of that stuff, no payroll taxes to pay? If you have payroll taxes, I think you do, probably in South Africa. But the point is this: here, right here, this is a place you can start a business. Because the reality is, again, if you're talking to someone and they have an objection about this, I would ask them, okay, you show me a solution. And my brain is thinking, well, if you're doing so well in life, and you're so rich and financially free, tell me what you're doing. All right. You know, that's not the case. They just do the same old thing over and over and live a life of survival rather than a life of abundance. Okay. So again, when it comes to price and it's expensive and all that, I always go back to value. What value do you put? What price do you put on your own personal health? All right. You know, do you believe in health and wellness? Okay, let me show you this business. If it's too expensive, then we need to make you some money. Let's show you how to make some money and get them involved. Okay, I'm not a salesman. None of us were salesmen. I wasn't born a salesman. J. Michael, were you born a salesman? No, I don't think anybody in this call right here was born a salesman. Okay, so let's think about this again logically. Facebook. How many people post a post on Facebook about a restaurant they went to that they liked or disliked? Maybe they went to a show, a movie, The Woman King. Have you guys seen The Woman King yet? Awesome movie. All right. Maybe they went and saw the movie, whether they like it, didn't like it. Understand something. We live in a world of opinions. Everyone loves to give their opinion. When you give an opinion about something, you're selling it. All right. Whether you're selling it to somebody not to do it or selling it to someone to do it, everyone gives opinions. So all this really is just giving. I look at that as merely an excuse. Okay. Again, my brain thinks, okay, what are you doing in life that's making you so successful? Okay. So, and look, understand something, you guys. When I meet resistance, I understand at the end of the conversation or wherever it's going, it may not be for them. It just may not be for them. But here's how I look at it. Okay, it's not for you right now. Right now, it's not for you. Maybe tomorrow you'll be willing to look at this and make the necessary adaptations, changes to do this business, just because you get sick and tired of living life the way you're living it. And you want to now start living a life of abundance, a life of freedom. So understand, things change. The one thing constant in life is change. People change. So if someone isn't ready because they're not ready, I get it. You're not ready. No problem. What I do with the non-ready people, put them on the back burner. Okay. Now understand something. Today, I burn through people faster. My problem, I can legitimately say I don't have time, because I'm very busy working with my organization, the people I have, and I don't have time now to take one person and spend every day with them all day. In the early days, I did. In the early days, that's all I did. I would take a person and say, I am here. I'm at my post. I'm ready for operations. Scrub me up. You find someone. I'm here. If you call me and say, Dave, I just talked to Joe. He's on standby. He wants to talk. Let's go. Get me on with Joe. Finish with Joe. Next thing you know, maybe you're calling me, in another 20 minutes. Dave, I've got Mary on the phone. She wants to know a bit more. Put me on with Mary. I did that in the early days. All day long, I was at my post, ready, talking to people. That's networking. And I did it on the phone, by the way. Today, you can use all kinds of tools to reach out and talk to people. But that's how you network. You're active. You're busy. Okay? So the whole I'm not a salesman thing, it's an excuse, but my brain thinks, okay, let's make you one. Then let's make you one. Why not? Okay. Now, if they say, I don't want to be, fine. You know what? Look, it's easier to give birth than raise the dead. I move on. People don't want to join. Janet, you got to be more specific than that. I've got 2 million people that have wanted to join. So, I mean, for one side of the conversation, there's another side of the conversation. I guess it really just depends on the circle that you're communicating with. And now, again, here's how my brain thinks. Why don't they want to join? What is it they don't get? The financial independence part, the making money part, the health and wellness part, the $4.2 trillion industry part, transform products that have an impact on your life, all the positivity. Maybe they don't get the traveling. You want to go to the Bahamas? What part don't you get? So if they don't want to join, again, my brain says, why? Let's find out why. Let's dig a little deeper into it and find out why they don't want to join. So maybe the challenge is getting in deeper into the conversation with that individual if they say they don't want to join, and ask them, be bold. Why? I'm curious. I'm honestly curious. Why don't you want to join? What is it that you don't get? See, I look at my job as explaining things to people. Let me explain to you how this works. Let me explain to you why it will work. Let me explain so you at least can make an educated decision. Now, if you say, look, I get it, I understand it, it's just not my cup of tea, okay, I move on. But at least I explained it well enough for you to make an educated decision. All the benefits of this type of business. Again, starting your own business, the options you have. And by the way, we have a new PowerPoint. I've got to get it out to you guys. It's pretty much done. There's, I think, one more tweak we're going to do on it. And it does talk about that. What are the options you have in life if you really want to have a life of abundance? And it goes through some of the options. Get another job. Heck, why don't you work 10 jobs? Don't sleep. All right. Then you're really gonna have a lot of fun. Find out if that's good. All right. Start your own company, your own business, get capital, spend a lot of money getting it started up, be by yourself. You're not with a team of people. So it goes through all of the benefits of this business model, this business, but the options that people have. So when somebody says, I don't want to join, again, my brain says, okay, you're doing so well and living a life of abundance. All right. And they're not. So again, I try to dig in deeper and find out why. That's just me. Then you can get specifics and you can find out, what is it that is holding you back? Let's talk about it. Let's find out. This is a relationship business, you guys. It's important to really, especially those that you sponsor. Hopefully they're your business partner for life. You have them with you now on this journey till the day you die, and you're going to work together and build together, enjoy together, cry together, laugh together, go out to eat together, travel to Utah to convention together. That's what this business is about. I just talked to Jeff Gilbert the other day about convention, about what we're going to do on the Friday evening, getting with our people and talking with them and bonding and having a good time. Let's see. People are quick to join, but not commit. Well, I'll say this on that one real quick. Involvement creates commitment. Keep them involved. That's why we have the WhatsApps. That's why you pick up the phone, before the event's going to start. Hey, you guys, we're starting in 5 minutes. Get on there. Maybe reach out to them the day before. Don't forget tomorrow. We're all getting together. So involvement creates commitment. And sometimes you have to push your people. You got to say, let's go. All right. You were committed yesterday. Let's stay committed. Let's stay committed. Let's keep going. The only way, and you're encouraging, you're challenging. You guys have been to a football game where somebody's running down the field ready to kick a goal and everyone's like on their feet screaming and hollering, cheering them on. That's how this business is. We're rooting for each other. We're cheering each other to get to that top, get to that goal, platinum, gold, bronze, whatever your goal is. And along the way, all the steps along the way, we celebrate and cheer people. It's too much work. I don't know how to convince people. Thanks, Janet. I really appreciate your participation, by the way, here. I don't know how to convince people. I'm not that social. Again, it's too much work. Look, I don't know. That's one that I guess would have me a bit miffed, because it's like, what in life isn't work? Look at any successful person. Do you think they had to work at it? I understand there's people that get inheritances. Maybe they win a lottery. That's not me. And I'll bet it's not you. All right. So therefore, I'll choose my position in life. All right. So if it's too much work, again, I would ask this person, I ask questions. I would say, what isn't work? I mean, any successful person's had to work at it. Don't you agree? So is it just that you just don't want to work? And I would get honest, get brutally honest with them and find out. They say, yeah, I don't want to work. I don't think I can do anything about that. That's your attitude. That's your mindset. So, that's just the way, that person is, and move on. I'm trying to mute Jane here. Jane's got her mic opened up. We're going to finish in a second. There we go. I'm not that social. These are all excuses, you guys. Look, you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. You can make either one, but you can't make both. All right. I'm not
like Mercy just put a good one in there. Very bottom. I will ask my doctor
let's
first.
jump down to that one and we'll finish up here. I will ask my doctor first. Okay. And that's and Doc, I'll just say this and I'll open up your mic, Dr. Ogina. Look, I'll ask my doctor first. That usually is an escape mechanism. They're trying to escape from you. Okay. Now, understand something. Here's what I would say. Who's your doctor? How about if I provide some technical data, a profile on this product for your doctor? Would that be okay? I would like to reach out to their doctor if possible. Now, if it's not possible, I would say this. How about I will send you some technical information. It's in the app, by the way, the app. Okay. All you have to do is go to the media library, whatever you're talking about, whether it's lung, whether it's just transfer factor, whether it's cardio, whatever it is. Send them the profile and say, okay, we're a scientifically based company. Everything that we have in our products is based on scientific data. It's all been researched. So how about if we provide this data to your doctor? Okay. And if this person is really honestly serious, they'll do it. Otherwise, again, it's just another excuse. Okay. I'm a numbers person. I burn through numbers. Literally, I'll just talk to people. I'm out looking for that one person that wants to partner with me. And I've got a guy, by the way, we'll see what happens. He's going to be joining me here in about 10 days. You'll probably see him on some of these calls. His name is Marco. He is retired. He was the captain of the sheriff's department here in San Diego. And it looks like I got him in For Life. He's Chaldean, which is from the Middle East. There's a huge Chaldean community here. Every liquor store and every car wash in San Diego is owned by a Chaldean. Seriously. And so we're going to hit the Chaldean community. And he knows a lot of Chaldeans. So anyhow, that's my new guy that I'm hoping to get going here in For Life. So Dr. Ogina, everyone, thank you so much. We're 7 minutes past the hour. I hope I've been able to share, and I know I'm brutally bold sometimes and brutally honest about this, but look, you've got to be. At the end of the day, it's about getting down to brass tacks. It's getting deep into this individual you're talking to and getting into their head and finding out why. All right, let's do this. I want to paint a picture, turn on the green light, have you see it clearly, and let's go. Okay, so Doc, I'll turn it over to you here to close us out. Thank you, everyone.
Well, just adding just an item on top of what you said, this issue of my doctor said no, or my doctor is here to look at this. It's all okay, but sometimes it's very, very important to know that doctors know very little about nutrition and about even drugs in general, in comparison to pharmacists. And I remember in 6-year program, we only had 2 lectures on nutrition. And there was only 1 mention of supplement. So if you don't take time to understand it your own, you really come up and begin practical without knowing what nutrition can do.
Hey, Doc, you're cutting in and out. Maybe your microphone's under your collar or something. I don't know.
Let me see if it's
there you go. Now you sound clear.
Yeah. So you have to be very, very careful on the advice your doctor gives you, because they know very, very little about nutrition. And if they don't take time to study on their own, they would end up practicing without understanding how nutrition and physiology of the body works. And sometimes, I asked one lady here who, a gyno, was uncomfortable with her using a transfer factor, and I asked her one question: does your doctor know how to extract vitamin C from an orange into a tablet? And I wanted her to understand the people who have formulated these supplements are very, very brilliant persons, more brilliant than your doctor. I wanted them to understand that point. But that's aside. We are in a great company and we have great products. And sometimes it's very, very important as distributors, we need to take time to understand what we have in our hands. In this country, I think the opportunity is massive. By the way, 75% of Kenyans, 75% of Kenyans earn below $400 per month. And statistics show that just about 80,000 and above $750 a month. 80,000 out of 50 million. So that's 0.16% of the entire country and above $750. Now, is an income that one can easily generate within a span of 3 to 6 months if they run their network properly. It's a question of just going all out and getting people and telling them to do exactly what you do, and it doesn't take time before you begin to generate these 750, and you become among the 0.16% of Kenyans who earn beyond $750. The opportunity is there, the products are there, and they're unique. Other companies don't have them, and the pay plan is just very, very generous. That's why we encourage people to come to the office so we can discuss the pay plan in detail, help them understand so that they don't go out there and get confused with some Chinese programs which are promising cars and homes and this, and then before you know it, you're left hanging and then they're gone. So we want to thank you so much, Dave. These forums are very, very useful. They're very educative, and they keep us on toes. So thank you so much for taking time to have these Wednesday programs with us.
Absolutely, Doctor. I was thinking the other day, because I don't know if I showed you guys this. Let me show you real quick. The gentleman I met at the beach the other day, his name is Richard Stryker. You might be able to hear me. I don't know. Let's see here.
But they're also pretty hyperactive.
So I started talking to this. Oh, sorry. This is my Odin playing with his dog, and we started talking about dogs. And that it's easy to talk about dogs when you both got a dog playing together. Okay. And then from dogs, the conversation went to what he's been doing. I asked him, "You live here in San Diego?" He says, "Oh, I'm just buying a house." I said, "Where'd you come from?" He goes, "From New York." He said, "Well, I've been traveling for 5 years, but I'm from New York." And I said, "Traveling for 5 years, what do you do?" He says, "Oh, I was in securities. I was a stockbroker. He traded stocks, and he made some money. Traveled the world, went to 23 countries, spent a lot of his money, and now he's looking about getting into something." Now, when I hear that, you know how to make money. You're looking for something now. You spent a lot of the money you made. He's single, okay? But he is getting his pilot's license. But anyhow, the conversation evolved. He kept me there for an hour and a half talking about the business model of networking, how to succeed, how do you become successful in networking? So I think what I want to try to do in some of these conversations, it's hard for me. Like day before yesterday, the guy's cutting my hair. I wish I had reached into my pocket and hit record. Now, understand something. I'm there for probably 30 minutes. So you'd have to listen to the whole conversation. You can't just listen to the part where I'm talking about all of a sudden. You got to hear how I evolved to get to For Life. It could be talking about anything, but I always gravitate towards networking, for life, health and wellness. Some way or another, I get to that in my conversation. And then I create an interest, you know? So anyhow, it'd be kind of fun if I could get on recorded. Someone, obviously they're not going to know I'm recording it, and then just play it. You know, guys can hear it. It's just a conversation. It's simple stuff. So anyhow, you guys, Dr. Gina, thanks so much for your participation. J. Michael, Janet, thank you very much for your questions. Sharon, all of you that have posted here. Look, in closing, I'll say this. This business is like anything. The more you do it, the more you figure it out, the better you get. That's the way it is. I like to play guitar. I have not played guitar in a while now, but I remember when I was really into it and learning, the more I played, the more I figured things out, the more chords I learned, the more notes I learned, the more chord progressions I learned. Like, that sounds pretty cool. Go back. I like that. The more creative I became. You see, this business is no different. The more you do it, the better you get, the more you learn. And in that process, you see, there's an emotional side of it. You start to get more excited about the business. Now, I understand that there also is the other side. You can get more frustrated, but trust me, you just keep going. You start to figure some things out. How to talk to people maybe a particular way, how to ask a particular question, how to make friends, how to develop that relationship, how to get into their market of people, how to encourage them to invite their people to come to a meeting and listen. These are all learned things. No one was born with those abilities. We all learn them. And just like anybody else, you, me, we can all learn more. So thanks, you guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. And we're blessed to have you as part of our For Life family. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. That's what this is about. All right. So let's unmute the microphones. And let's hear some noise. All right, you guys. Thanks. Let's go,
Dave.
Kenya, South Africa.
Africa.
J. Michael and Judy, Princess. All right. Let's go, you guys. All right. Invite, keep going, keep growing. Energy. All right, love you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Bye.